Friday, April 9th, so we're going to continue our ACT prep in the week 2 folder. You are still going to go to sentence structure one more time, and when you go in there, you'll notice you've already done sentence fragments, run-on sentence, and misplaced modifiers if you did everything you were supposed to yesterday. So the last thing to do in there is the sentence structure assessment. This is like a real ACT passage, and that means there's going to be 15 questions for it. So it's going to take you a little bit more time than these practice run-ups. However, again, you can take it up to 20 times, and I encourage you to take it as many times as you'd like to get that score, but also to learn the things that you're hopefully going to be preparing for on the ACT next week on Tuesday. Speaking of that, you'll notice that the style and rhetoric folder is also open now, and when you click it, you will see two things for you to do. There's one called adding, revising, and deleting information, and another one called organization. These are a little bit different than the ones that we've been previously doing. When we're talking about adding and deleting information, what these questions look like, there'll be things like if the underlined statement were omitted, or the writer is considering adding the following statement, or should the writer omit, that means get rid of the underlined portion. It's all about adding and deleting things that are in the passage. You can see the sentences like this. They'll underline it. Ryan Gosling is another well-known celebrity, and then they'll ask, should we leave it? Should we change it? Should we take it out? And the key to these kinds of questions is really simple. Just ask yourself these questions. Does the phrase or sentence need to be here? ACT doesn't like redundancy, so if a sentence doesn't need to be there, get rid of it. Does it fit? That just means, does it belong in this paragraph? Does it make sense with the rest of the sentences around it? And then finally, does it help the paragraph make more sense? If you can answer yes to these three things, then keep it. Otherwise, you're probably going to want to get rid of it. Same thing with the delete or omit. If the passage makes sense without it, that's a redundancy, get rid of it. Does it make grammatical sense? If it fits, it fits. If it doesn't, you should be able to tell. So that is organization. Adding, revising, and deleting information. Not too tough. Organization, on the other hand, you're only going to have 3 sentences in your practice today, so there's not a lot to do here, but how do you do it? And you can see it looks like, oh my gosh, all these strategies to win, all these things to do. It's really quite simple. What you need to worry about is the first number in a sequence. So they're going to ask you things like the most logical order for the sentence in paragraph 1 is. Figure out which is the topic sentence. Don't even worry about the rest of these. Whichever one feels like it should go first, you can see if it's 2, it's that one. If it's 1, or if it's 3, you don't have to worry about the rest of this at all. Which one should start the paragraph? Same thing then when it comes down to which order should the paragraphs go. Basically just find the one that is the introduction paragraph. And unless it's 3 right here, you won't have to go to the next paragraph. If it's 2 or if it's 3, you just figure out, oh, it's 2, then it's going to be that one. Okay? Or if it's no change, that would mean, of course, 1 is where it belongs. So those are the ACT prep things you need to do today. Next week on Monday is our last ACT prep. It'll be the rest of the style and rhetoric folder. So as I said, take these as many times as you need, and we'll see you next week.